All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. Now, we're going to talk about Sean Strickland, and we're going to talk about Chael Sonnen, two of my favorite people. And the reason we're going to talk about these two is because Chael Sonnen had some critical things to say about Sean Strickland's approach to promotions, which I found surprising at first. I think there's a lot to this. This is a multi-layered video because Chael is criticizing Sean for playing the heel when Chael was the master at playing the heel. And so I really looked into what Chael said, and then I looked at what Sean had said, and I triangulated what's going on. And I actually think Sean should take this as a very good sign for his career. And I'll tell you exactly what I mean. So, subscribe to the channel if you think this is an interesting video, or don't, whatever. But definitely like it if you don't mind. So basically, here's the deal. So what Chael said was that Sean Strickland is gambling essentially. He's playing the heel and he's doing it in a way like I played the heel. I did it to perfection, which he did. And he said that Sean is gambling with how he's doing it. And he thinks that sometimes Sean mistakes people laughing at him for laughing with him. And I was like, I mean, does it really matter? Like when I first, I'm like, does it matter if they're laughing with him or at him? Like, how does it, I mean, all that matters is if people are going to buy the pay-per-views, right? Like, I don't know. Like, to me, it seems like it's a wash. So I looked into the things that Sean was saying, first of all. And then I think also notable is that Sean and Chael are playing this completely different, right? Like Chael would win in Madison Square Garden. They'd go, "Tell us about your victory, Mr. Sonnen." And he'd go, "The bad guy hates New York." And it's amazing. And everybody goes, "Boo." It's brilliant, but also very contrived and intentional, right? Where Sean is playing the exact opposite. Like Sean's just like, "Yeah, hey. So if you were sitting on my couch and I saw that commercial come on, I would be like, "Hey, look at that pussy. Look at that fucking pussy and his bitch ass shit." And then something I wouldn't even say on YouTube. And he's like, "This is just how I am. Like, this is just how I roll. And you could take it or leave it, bitch. Oh, you don't like it? Oh, you don't like how I talk? Boo, fuck you." That's kind of how he's playing it, right? And so I really, I went and read some of his tweets, and he is, I mean, seriously, hold on, let me read a couple of these to you. It's because he's not leaving anything, I don't even know if I can read some of these, dude. When people ask me, "Why are you this way?" There is no God. We're all animals. Life is random. There's no meaning. Morality doesn't exist. Go. I can't believe I'm censoring myself on this channel, dude. I say whatever I want. I just don't want to get demonetized. Go F hookers and do. If we die now or later, it makes no difference. So, that's the stuff that he's bringing to the table, which I think is hilarious. I'm laughing with him, just for the record. I am laughing with him for sure. But here's what you need to consider, right? If Chael, so Chael Sonnen thinks Strickland is going in the wrong direction. Okay, so this is what you always need to consider. And this is I know, oh, by the way, I heard Strickland watches my channel. Somebody said that in the live stream yesterday. And then someone who had the account Strickland's burner, if that was Sean, huge fan, obviously. And so, as a matter of fact, let's just pretend I'm talking to Sean. But any other fighter, this goes for you as well. So, one thing that you always need to take into account is Chael speaks on behalf of the company. It's just that simple, okay? If you think that that's not true, when he's on his YouTube channel, he's doing videos, he's speaking on behalf of the organization. And what that tells you is you should be listening. You should be listening to what he says and then understand. It's like any other thing, dude. If you have a source of information and you know what their goal is, then you can watch it through that lens. It's like, okay, well, if I know that these people want me to do this thing, and then this story that they're telling, they're spinning in a direction that's likely to get me to go to this thing, maybe I should go check another source and see if that's really true, since I already know they're trying to get me to go do this thing, right? And with Chael, it's watch it through the lens that he is the YouTube mouthpiece of the UFC, period. He just is. And that's not a bad thing. As a matter of fact, it's a good thing because it gives you insight into what they're thinking. And all of you, your paychecks and your future rely on aligning with what the UFC wants, right? And so if Chael is saying, "I think he's going down the wrong direction, I think he should scale it back," I think what he's saying is, dude, we're not going to have a UFC champion that says shit like that on Twitter. You know, you can be wild, but no, like not that. Being the champion's different, okay? If I'm translating correctly, okay? This is how I would translate it. If I was the fighter that Chael was talking about, this is exactly how I would translate it. He's saying, you're right there, dude. Like, Sean, you're right there. You are potentially up next for a title shot if you wait, or one fight from a title shot. Bottom line, you can't have a UFC champion that says hookers and blow on Twitter. Like, not like that's not good. That's actually going to damage your likelihood of getting a title shot, etc. And I'm not saying that Sean should scale it back or not. I'm just saying pretty fucking likely that viewpoint is shared by the organization if Chael said it on the channel. Now, how do I know that he's, the company guy? Pretty simple, dude. He's framing Francis exploring other options as he's scared to fight Jon Jones. I mean, guys, does anyone really believe that? Like, does anyone seriously believe that's why Francis is doing whatever he's doing? Is because he not because he wants better terms with the UFC, not because Tyson Fury's barking about a boxing match and he wants to potentially explore that option, but it's because he's scared to fight Jon Jones. Like, really? Does anyone actually believe that? And I mean, look, I have nothing but respect for Chael, dude. Like, I have nothing but admiration for Chael. I think he's a complete boss. I actually am really impressed with his ability to just come out and just do. I could do it too. I could do that all day long. I just have no reason to do propaganda, right? Give me a reason. I'll propagandize the fuck out of everyone and no one will even realize that I'm doing it, What do you want me to convince people? Oh, that I made that all up? Listen, guys, I was just trying to get clicks, man. Obviously, Chael's his own guy. Why would he be doing anything for the organization? He works for ESPN. He doesn't even work for the UFC. Why on earth would he use his platform to smear guys with things that aren't even his real opinions? That doesn't even make any sense. Why would he do it? What would the point of that be? So if he said that to Strickland, it's probably just because he's clutching his pearls and he's a baby. Like, he probably is just like, geez, that joke really insulted my sensibilities. There's no way. Like, I mean, it has nothing to do with his career. It has nothing to do with the organization. I just don't like hearing words like that. That's probably what he was doing, And he probably really does think that Francis is scared of Jon Jones because, of course, he is. Jon Jones is the scariest heavyweight of all time. You heard it on this channel. Obviously, there's never been a heavyweight like Jon Jones. You heard it here first, right? Right after the Francis and Ngannou fight. There's never been a fighter like Jon Jones at heavyweight. That's why anyone who doesn't want to fight in the UFC is scared of Jon Jones. It's obvious, right? His record at heavyweight, what'd you say? What do you mean? You don't need to see him fight at heavyweight to know whether or not he's scary at heavyweight. Why would you need to see that? You've seen him fight at light heavyweight. He's just going to be a more powerful version of himself, right? If you take Jon Jones that strangled Lyoto Machida and add 50 pounds of muscle on him, that's the scariest human being in the history of the world, right? You take the one that beat me and add 50 pounds of muscle, that's the scariest dude of all time. I mean, does anybody disagree with that? Come on. I think I actually just started imitating Chael when I was actually initially propagandizing that his channel's not propaganda. So that kind of sprawled, but you get the point I'm making. I can be propaganda if you want me to, because obviously, I don't agree with the opinions I was just sharing, but I can make it seem like I do. So someone send me a reason. Now, on top of that, in case you guys are unclear on this, I have been sponsored by ipvanish. And if you guys do me a solid and go check out ipvanish/Jesse, I would be immensely grateful. Just go check it out. Dude, they did a bunch of special stuff to the page. They're going to give you guys incredible deals. Because you know what you do? When you are surfing the interweb, there are people trying to creep on your data. Did you know that? Because if you didn't know that, you should learn that quick, dude. Because these people that want your data, they're going to sell it. They're going to sell it to nefarious actors. You have no idea who's going to get your data. I might get your data. What do you think I'm going to do with it? If I find out what you're looking at, I might all of a sudden come out of the woodwork and blackmail you with it. Like, a lot of people buy your data. They just want to share, they're like, oh, let's figure out what kind of things he likes so I can sell him things. That is one possibility for why they want your data. But another reason would be some nefarious actor who's trying to creep on you, steal your passwords, and then fuck your life up. You ever think about that? ipvanish, you never have to worry about that, ever. They wouldn't be able to find you. They can't get your data. You are onioned up, okay? Like the dark web. You get into an onion, no one's going to find you. So, ipvanish/Jesse, I just made that ad up on the spot. I don't think I violated any of their terms. See, that's what I do. I just make up ads. But I think they're more compelling than the thing that they sent me. So, yeah, ipvanish/Jesse. And if I violated what I'm supposed to say about ipvanish, I didn't, because I didn't say doing it. I'm saying they're creeps. You don't want creeps looking at your data, dude. So if that's not the most compelling reason you've ever seen to get ipvanish, then I don't know what is. But definitely do it on my page, ipvanish.com/Jesse. What's up? Anyway, so what else is there to talk about? What else is going on? So Cody Garbrandt is at Extreme Couture. I should do a video about that, actually. I should do a video about that. You want to know why? Well, I don't want to do a video. I don't want to title it like, I don't want to make a big thing of it because I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to like inject myself in anything. All I'll say is this. I am really, really, really stoked that he's at Extreme Couture because A, I completely believe in that team over there, especially Eric as a head coach. I think that Cody Garbrandt is, I really believe this. I think he is the biggest talent that I've ever seen in the UFC who has gone on a skid like he's on right now. I think he is small tweaks from being as good as anyone in the world. Peter Yan is a beast. That is a frightening matchup. I will certainly acknowledge that. But especially at 125, he's a monster. And he's one approach tweak away from being essentially unbeatable at 25. I seriously believe that. And the greatest thing about it is that, you know, look, like I know some people in the industry now. I get to talk to people. I talk to this person, talk to that person. But in this case, like I love Cody Garbrandt. Like you know, like I don't know him personally, but of all the fighters in the UFC, there are very few, if any, who I root for more passionately, like where I really want them to win. Like I really want him to do well. Like I genuinely really want him to do well. And I also genuinely think I understand why he's lost these last handful of fights, except for the Rob Font fight. And I've talked about it on the channel a bunch, but in this case, I was able to share my opinion with his head coach. Like I got to write to Eric and just be like, listen, obviously I'm not trying to step on your coaching gig. I'm just going to tell you what I've seen from this guy because I love that guy. I think you're an incredible coach, and I would just like to give you my insight because I genuinely believe that all Cody needs to do is go into the fight feeling as though he's been forbidden to knock his opponent out, at least for the first one or two, dude. Like you're not allowed, like you're not allowed to knock out your opponent. You have to win by decision, right? Because that's how he fought Dominic Cruz, and he was the best fighter that 135 had ever seen that night. And the only difference between how he fought Dominic Cruz and how he fought everyone else is with everyone else, he's looking for a highlight knockout. Like, and if you watch how he fought against Dominic Cruz, he's completely different. He was not looking for a knockout. He knew how crafty Dominic Cruz was, and he's like, I can be more crafty. I can be more hard to hit. I could touch you when you don't touch me, and that's going to make, I'll be the better fighter. And he was. And if he approaches all of his fights like that, I'm telling you, he is going to be incredibly challenging for anyone to beat. He just loves knocking people out, but you got to set that down because sitting in the pocket is how you've gotten caught in all of those fights, except Rob Font. So I shared that with Eric, and he's obviously has much more than just that, but like, I feel very blessed to have at least gotten to hand that to someone who might hand it to Cody because I really want him to win. Like I really deeply, genuinely want him to win. So that was a tangent, but it would have been weird if I made a whole video about it. You know what I mean? Anyway, I love you guys. ipvanish.com/Jesse. Peace.